Alright, and we are live once again on this fine Thursday. Let's let everyone know. Let's see. Oh no, Sleepy, you beat my wife, come on. That's not okay. So possessive. That's really rude, honestly. Alright, let's see. Just letting the various places know that we're live. Then we'll let people stream in for a bit. Ben, what up? Rochester misses you, buddy. That makes sense. I wish I could have been there, but between the mask mandate and having a newborn daughter, I couldn't really make the trip out there. But glad you're able to make it though. As people trickle in, you know, we're playing the same list we played last week. As I mentioned, the only big difference is that we're not playing a Sanctum Prelate because Sanctum Prelate is not very good. In its usual place, I'm just playing a Charming Prince because I want a 2-drop. That's basically it. The Palace Jailer is in the garbage where it belongs. I'm like sad that Jailer is bad because like I can't like play it and then put on a crown, like take a crown out of my backpack. Like Katie, you got me like 2 different crowns that I got to use at different times, and I'm sad I can't do that anymore. But you know, the times be a changing, unfortunately. Honestly, being the next Monarch sounds pretty exhausting though. So, for those following the C plot of the stream, this time, instead of the cherry Coke Zero last night, I'm drinking Diet Mountain Dew. I don't know what the B plot is, but I felt like the drink was not the B plot. That's all that I was really confident about. The B plot might be Jailer with how many people keep saying it, but well, we're going to go ahead and start playing while people trickle in. Probably only doing one league tonight. I did not get a ton of sleep last night. Being a parent, that just kind of happens sometimes. We might make a couple mistakes. We'll see. But I'm going to keep it to one league just so I don't stretch time and what mental capabilities I have right now. So. In we go. Hey, Sultana Mage. Yep, playing the same list as last week for the same reasons. Yeah. I suspect we'll switch things up next week. I'm just not sure what those changes might be. I don't tend to experiment with cards a lot. Maybe the stream will honestly be, a an avenue through which I do test out cards more. But we'll see. We are on the play, and we will reveal Yorion because we are very good at this game. This hand's pretty good. Vial, turn 1 Vial on the play into a port is pretty much always a pretty solid play. I think the rest of the hand has to be like pretty horrible, or like it just has to be horrible for that to not be something you're interested in. So we're gonna keep. The flexots I consider are basically the prince. I think the commando is a flex slot, and I think that's basically it. I can't really think of any other card that I would cut other than like maybe shaving on. I could see cutting a Skyclave for something else, but I can't see cutting very much else. Green. This is an exploration. Okay, so we're playing with lands. So yeah, I think those are the main two cards I consider the flex slots. I don't think there are many other cards that are really competing for them. Just like I think the back before, like in the pre-MH2 Yorion list, there were a lot more flex cards that got played. We're not gonna play Spirit here. There's no reason to. I'd rather just keep their mana limited a bit. Before Solitude got printed, there were a lot more like spicy one-ups that got played in the list. I think the room for those has really shrunk quite a bit, unfortunately. Wasteland on the port is unfortunate. I mean, a port of their own. That's also gross. But this might be that's a loam. Okay. I was hoping it might be a Sylvan Library. Started rambling there, but hopefully I got to my point. If I was cutting a 3-drop, I would probably cut the Skyclave before I cut the Wisp. Yeah. I did have a list where I cut a Wisp instead, and it just felt like Skyclave is the more obviously powerful card, but I think it's surprising how much you lose out cutting one of your 4 flyers, basically. Here we have a really interesting choice, because we could hope that this Yavimaya is what's holding their mana together and just wasteland it and ruin them. I'm kind of tempted to do that anyway, because they don't have another green source, and that's going to limit them no matter what. And the longer this game goes on, the less this wasteland's going to matter. And we also have this Vial in play, so we don't really need our mana to do anything. So... all right, they did have another green source, but we made them have it at least. All right, so they have Yavimaya, Saga, and Stage. These are not cards that I want them to have. Plains gets tapped, that's fine. Skyclave here. We're kind of late to tag this exploration and do much, so we are just going to attack. We're most likely going to recruit, I think we're probably going to recruit a... might recruit a Lion Sash. We could recruit the Skyclave instead. I think Lion Sash is probably the most impactful card we can get here. Alright, there's the Yavimaya. So they only have the stage in hand from the Loam. They're probably about to get Misty, Waste, Tab. Yep. And they play the Tabernacle. We will still put in... So I think actually the Tabernacle makes me less... let me think about this. Yeah, I think we... It sucks because we can't really use the Sash this turn unless we just let both of our creatures die. That might be worth it. We might have to. But that's an it's just like a kind of icky line to have to take. I guess one thing that we could do is get a Sash in response to the Tabernacle triggers, Vial in Wisp, Flicker the Recruiter. The only issue there actually is that we can't even, because of the port, that would keep us off of a Lion Sash activation after we play it, but that would cut them off of a Saga token. So maybe that's a worthy thing to make them do. Yeah, we'll do that. The reason I'm not super... Like, I think most of the time you really just want to get Cauldron and kill them that way. I feel like I'm already too behind for that to work. I think at that I'm kind of just, like, hoping to get lucky there. More so than, I think... yeah, I don't know. This is a tough spot regardless, but... Yeah, the turn 1 Wasteland was, like, pretty risky. But I think the logic behind it is kind of sound, right? Like, they haven't shown us another green source. Wasteland they already have a Loam, so, like, Wasteland is basically useless otherwise. Like, sometimes it just won't work out, but I think the logic there was sound. And we are just going to eat this Loam right now. I think it's probably just got to be Wisp, right? Wisp just ends up being so good in this matchup. I could get a Stoneforge here. The only issue is that, like... So we could now get Stoneforge for Cauldron. It is pretty mana intensive when we're already under a port and a Tabernacle, which is my main concern. I'm kind of tempted to get a Wisp because they haven't showed us we haven't seen a Maze yet, and maybe we can just kill them in the air. Flicker Wisp also lets us keep using this Recruiter for value without actually paying for it. Yeah, matchup's rough. We'll see what happens. I thankfully do have 3 surgicals in my board. I've been playing 2 for a while, but went up to 3. I'm pretty sure I have 3. Yeah, I got 3 surgicals, so that'll help a bit. There's the stage, and there's the wasteland. They're activating map, but they've already used both their land drops. That's interesting. What do they get? Besiege you. Okay, that makes sense. So it's probably Besiege you on the Lion Sash here. It could be on the Vial, actually. But I'm suspecting it's going to be on the Sash. No, it's on the Vial. Okay. Alright, we will get the Saga out of there. So now we have some interesting choices here. So they've used the Beseiju. I'm not sure how many lands tends to play. They could get another one and deal with the Sash that way, but if we at least activate Sash one more time, we're both blocking these construct tokens and making it hard for them to kill it. I'm gonna let the Recruiter die for sure. It's just not providing us anything now. Definitely paying for the Lion Sash, and then it's a question of whether we pay for the Wisp. And I think I'm gonna pay for the Wisp because I need to pressure them still. Yeah. That Iganju is pretty neat, but we're just gonna start with an attack in the air, and then we'll go from there. Letting their constructs die. That's not... They aren't doing much, so I'm not super surprised by that. It means they probably don't have another Saga in hand, which is nice. Another Wasteland in the Misty. Now we can eat the Beseiju. My dog is messing with something behind me. Be right back. Dogs, gotta love them. Anyway, back to this. And they don't even have... So they could have... They need 3 red sources, so we don't have to worry about like a double... punishing fire there. We'll pay for both and attack them. And hope that they don't have a crop rotation for something scary. Endurance. Okay. I will. I think, yeah. I think I'm gonna let that happen. They'll go to blocks while I Gonjo it to keep the Flicker Wisp in play. And we still got 1 mana up for Sash. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. We are in our first match of the night against Lands, still in game 1. Do they have another Endurance? That would be a bummer. Oh, just tapping the land. Okay, that's fine. Crop rotation. Is this for Adepts? Could be for a Saga. If it's for Adepts, we're not dead to it, so that's nice.